The 2014 Mazda 3's Grand Touring, driven. The Mazda 3 has been roaming the roadways since it replaced the Protégé in 2004, and despite a second generation in 2010, the design remained nearly the same throughout its lifespan. When Mazda announced its Kodo design language would make its way to the 3 in the 2014 model year, I couldn't help but get excited, as the Mazda 6 looked awesome in its new dress. Well, after I drove the Mazda 6, I called up my fleet supplier and specifically requested the Mazda 3. They contacted Mazda, and they happily shipped one out to me. The new Mazda 3 was a stunner from the second it rolled into my driveway. I loved the Meteor Gray Mica paint draped over the revised body. Walking up to the car, it looked like a much more expensive car, and sliding into the cabin really kicked things up a notch. On the surface, my love for the revised Mazda 3 only grew, but did I still love it after a week behind the wheel? Click past the jump to find out. Exterior. Seeing it in person does it so much more justice than looking at online images. Having seen plenty of press photos, I knew pretty much what I could expect from the heavily reworked Mazda 3. That said, seeing it in person does it so much more justice than looking at online images. The Kodo design up front leaps out at you from both the head-on and profile views, and the rear hatch is curved in a much more European styling. This combo gives the small hatch a really sporty and elegant look that it's lacked since its debut. From the side, the body lines make the Mazda 3 look fast when sitting still. The upper lines swoop nicely over the front fenders, while the lower lines swoop upward from the wheels, making it look like the two will intersect at some point. They do not, of course. My test model was the fully loaded model with the GT technology package installed, so it included 18-inch wheels, rain-sensing wipers, bi-xenon headlights with auto-leveling, auto-on-off headlights and adaptive front lighting. The adaptive and auto-leveling headlights were badass enough. The lights go up and down, and turn left and right with the car for optimal forward vision, but the high beam control added via the GT Tech package made life a breeze by switching between high and low beams automatically. On a whole, the 2014 Mazda 3's Grand Touring was all that I expected from the outside and then some. Interior. While I knew what to expect from the outside, the interior was a little more of a mystery, as I had no idea just how loaded up the Mazda 3 could come. Once I got a look at it though, my jaw dropped. The two-tone leather sports seats are absolutely stunning, plus they are pretty supple for being a lower-level model, plus they offer a lot of support. This model could easily find itself as a smaller, cheaper alternative to the 328i GT. In the corners. The touchscreen in the center of the dash is huge and very easy to read in nearly all light. The Mazda Connect infotainment system includes the aforementioned 7-inch touchscreen, 9 Bose speakers that sound awesome, one of the most accurate Navi systems I have tested in a car, a rear-view camera, Sirius XM and SMS text message reading and replying. Also included on this model that I was not aware of is a very futuristic-looking heads-up display. When the car is off, the heads-up display lays flat on the top of the instrument panel hood, but once you start the car, it pivots upward to give you a nice look at your speed, navigation directions and other pertinent information right in your line of sight. On top of all of these high-end features, I can also say that the gauges are clear and easy to read, the center stack is clean and the cabin is pretty quiet for a small hatchback. In terms of cargo room, the Mazda 3 swallows up to 47.1 cubic feet of cargo with the seats folded and 20.2 cubic feet with the seats upright. Sure, that is not much, but it is right in line with the rest of the class. While the exterior of the Mazda 3 was great, the interior was on a whole new level. This model could easily find itself as a smaller, cheaper alternative to the 328i GT. Now, before you Bimmer folks tear me apart, I'll say that in no way is the Mazda 3 on the same level as the 3er GT. It is, however, a nice alternative for those who want the BMW, but cannot quite swing the payments. Audio and infotainment system in detail. Cargo area in detail. Rear seats in detail. Drivetrain. Under the hood of the 2014 Mazda 3's Grand Touring is a new 2.5-liter Sky Active 4-pot that delivers 184 horsepower and 185 pound-feet of torque. That's a healthy boost of 17 horsepower and 17 pound-feet of twist from the 2013 model's 2.5-liter. The new Sky Active 4-pot hooks up to a 6-speed automatic transmission that includes paddle shifters and sport mode for those who want a little something extra in the fun department. In my test, I clocked about a 7.5 second 0 to 60 mph time, which is pretty good for its class, which is about a half second faster than last year's model. Additionally, the Mazda 3 turns in EPA ratings of 28 mpg city and 38 mpg highway with the IE Loop, which is part of the GT Tech package. That's an increase of 6 mpg city and 9 mpg highway when compared to last year's 2.5-liter equipped Mazda 3. Driving impressions. The body roll was minimal and the tires were plenty sticky to avoid too much howling in the twist. I have driven Mazda 3s in the past and with exception to the Mazdaspeed version, none were overly fun to drive. The 2014 model with the 2.5-liter engine, on the other hand, was a blast. The engine had plenty of pickup and peak torque was low enough in the rev band to help get it to speed without needing to wind the engine out. The paddle shifters and sport mode were other additions that helped make the 2014 Mazda 3's Grand Touring feel even sportier. Sure, putting it in drive and letting it shift by itself is fine, but these options give you a crack at rowing your own gears without the hassle of a third pedal. The ride was firm but not too jarring over bumps, and tossing the hatchback into corners was rather enjoyable. The body roll was minimal and the tires were plenty sticky to avoid too much howling in the twist. Overall, I felt like Mazda kept the 3's sporty heritage intact with this redesign. Pricing. The Mazda 3's Grand Touring bases out at $26,495, and the GT Tech package tosses an extra $2,600 to the base price, bringing the total with destination charge to $29,890. Competition. 2014 Volkswagen Golf. The Golf has been the same for about as long as I can remember, but its design still holds water. Under its hood is a 2.5-liter 4-pot with 170 ponies and 177 pound-feet of twist. Unfortunately for the Golf, the Mazda 3 has it in power, speed, acceleration, looks and luxury. What the Golf has on its side is German quality. 2014 Ford Focus. The Focus at least rivals the Mazda 3's looks, but its 160 horsepower, 2.0-liter 4-pot leaves a lot to be desired. It does, however, sport really good fuel economy at 27 mpg city and 38 mpg highway with 3 auto gearbox. Conclusion. I was excited to get my hands on the new Mazda 3 from the second I laid eyes upon it, and I feared that it may disappoint me. Well, to my surprise, it was everything I had hoped for and then some. Granted, my viewpoint is a little skewed because I had a loaded to the gills model, but even its basic construction and drivability was excellent. The power was plentiful, the handling was accurate and the ride was smooth, a win-win-win for Mazda, again. Love it. Great power for the size. Fuel economy was higher than the EPA estimates. This kind of luxury is unheard of in a Mazda 3. Leave it $30,000 for a Mazda. 3 may scare some buyers. Seats could get uncomfortable on longer drives.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.